Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm your host, Airsoft Al, and currently I'm at a weird angle because the futon's still undone. Basically, it's in the bed mode. And as I'm filming this, a lot has happened in a while, so I'm just going to back this camera up a second so I'm not pressing up against the futon here. Alright, so what has happened recently? Well, if you saw the ACS footage, I was able to go to ACS's Noob Day! ACS Airsoft, which I think was a 31st birthday present from the guys over there at the BB Assassins. If it was, then awesome. If it wasn't, they just had an extra ticket, then you know what? Hey, I'm happy with it. And a lot did go down at ACS Airsoft, which included a lot of interesting things, and me having to pay back a friend, which, thank God, I'm able to. The big thing, though, is updates. What's going on in the future for reviews, content, and just general stuff. The big one is that this month is definitely going to be concentrating and focusing mostly on the studio, meaning that I'm going to basically be remodeling the room a little bit by adding furniture, shelves, and another organizer, so this room here is not as cluttered as it is and is a little more organized. Kind of happy you don't have the floor view, because if you did, you'd see a lot of stuff kind of just cluttered about in controlled little piles. But what is the things I did get? Well, I got over $3,000 worth of frickin' vape stuff because a guy legitimately didn't want to take them home with him, and I said, sure, I'll take it home with me. And by $3,000, I mean legitimately $3,000. Let me get the box! I know you're thinking this isn't much, but believe me, there is a lot of mods and glass and coils and stuff in here that is a little digging. Worth a lot of money. But because of Facebook and all that stuff, yeah. Tennessee, or at least I think federal law, technically states that so long as the vape doesn't contain any nicotine products in it, you're able to sell like pipes and things like that. So I could probably sell these at a flea market if I really wanted to. Maybe get like 50, 20 bucks out of them. I don't know. I haven't decided on that yet. But the other thing is mostly guns! That's right, guns, including the SRC XM8. This one being not as accurate to Black Ops 2, but pretty damn close. This is my brother's new primary gun instead of his SPR I built him, and he is having me store it in here. And you know what? This is probably going to go up on the wall behind me. This wall will definitely change over time. But I decided to basically I decided to trade this with Shamrock Reaper, one of the guys who play at Sector 9, and actually boxes. I don't know if I'm going to work with some friends to try and make this actually become the Black Ops 2, like, XM8 or M8, whatever. But yeah, no, if we can actually turn this into the XM8 from Black Ops 2, which was one of my brother's actually legitimate favorite Call of Duties, then you know what? That'd definitely be good. But this is definitely on the review block. No, this is not a proper G36 mag. I will definitely get more G36 mags to kind of, yeah. Moving on to the next gun, which was in parts, and I had to cannibalize another one to get it to actually be put together, but there are definitely going to be plans for it. You shall see. That, of course, being this really cool classic Army right here. I think it was Classic Army or G&P. Either way, I do have the stock for it, which is currently in pieces at the moment because it's missing a screw for it to do the two-positioned stubby stock, which I'll get back to this in a second. Let me grab the stock, which, like I said, is mostly in pieces. And, yeah, I basically have most of the hardware for it, including the buffer tube that goes in it, but I don't have the, yeah, and I don't know the full extent of it because I don't have a, blueprint to go with it. So, yeah, I have no idea about this. Anyone who does know about this, please let me know in the comment section down below where I could get a blueprint or at least a manual for this little sucker. If it's G&P or Classic Army, I'd like to know, but getting back to the main meat of it, which is mostly this. I now have another rail. I don't gotta have to buy the full-length Picatinny rail to go alongside my Weaver rail, but I do have this Picatinny, which definitely is going to be a lot of fun. The reason I mostly got this is because, well, I love the short, stubby nature. I love small things. Not like that. But I will admit, though, that I'm deciding whether or not I want to keep the full-length stock or, you know, put on what I have coming in, which is mostly a stubby stock. Because, of course, I'd be getting a stubby stock. Why wouldn't I be getting a stubby stock? For a small gun. To build a small gun. To make it a tiny gun. Even though I do like the full-length stock. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I want to have the, stubby stock. You know? Just make it tiny. Make it a little PDW. Make it small. Haven't decided yet. But I will say that, sadly, the thing that I had to cannibalize was the ENC M16A1, or the XM16, the gearbox, and of course the motor. Sadly, I do not have a bolt release on this bad boy because the bolt release was a little too tall for it. So, yeah, no bolt release at the moment. But I will admit that, you know, I now have a little bit more easier access to the hop-up because, if I can get this thing to do it, I can now access the hop-up, which there is actually a barrel in here that I did get at the field, and the barrel itself I don't have the packaging for, but it is a stainless steel barrel, which actually undoing... Well, no, I don't have to, because you could probably see it in there. It's not loaded or anything, don't worry. I know I'm pointing a barrel at you guys, but you can see the inner barrel. So yeah, the inner barrel is actually stainless steel. I don't know if it's a Type 4 or performance barrel. Either one, I don't know. I don't care. It still has the original hop-up from the XM, from the ENC, and it will, of course, be seeing a lot of action, to say the least. This is definitely a little bit sharp. I may take a sandpaper and round these corners out. I don't know yet, although one side is a little thicker than the other. That's definitely interesting. But what I will admit, though, is I may actually do the jungle grip on it, where it's basically, hey, there's a jungle grip there. I haven't decided yet, but it's definitely something. But moving on to, of course, the other project gun I have that is going to be done this month. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. We're probably going to do a video on it. I'm stalling. Let's get to it. The other project gun, which I announced, God knows when, is the XR5 project. The Star CSI XR5. This thing will basically be getting a full retrofit internally. Replacing, of course, a lot of parts that are inside of it with parts coming in, with mostly metal parts. Why metal parts? Because, well, durability, life expectancy, and replacing the 8mm bearings in here, replacing the bearings in here that are plastic with 8mm bearings, will definitely probably perform a lot better than the plastic bearings that's in here. It does have a full metal gearbox, and I am definitely going to be replacing a lot of parts, especially the piston, nozzle, piston head. A lot of stuff. I'm going to be replacing a lot of stuff is what I'm trying to say. I'm basically going to make it full metal, including the hop-up unit, which will, of course, be replaced with a full metal hop-up unit. Now, the reason I'm doing this project is more or less to kind of give you guys who are on a budget the ability to basically say, hey, this is what you can do to one of your guns on a budget internally. Yes, you could take it to a tech, but as many a good southerner will tell you, we'd rather do it ourselves before we take it to some other yippee to do it for us. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm doing the good old-fashioned southern thing of, I'm going to do it myself before I let anyone else do it for me. Or at least in this case, like a mechanic or anything like that. Like, if a can of Mountain Dew and duct tape can fix a little engine issues temporarily, or at least long-term, then by all fucking means, I'm going to do that until I can actually get the part to fix it myself. Because, you know, fix it again, Tony. Oh, wait, that spells Fiat, not Ford. I'm getting distracted again. Moving on! Now, the other thing is, of course, reviews. Many of you know that I'm going to be doing a lot of content, and of course I was doing the pistols and shotgun content. That, sadly, is kind of on hold for, well, not on hold, that kind of took a back burner because, you know, ACS Noob Day was coming up and I wasn't able to get the footage done. But I can assure you one of the reviews that is actually going to be filmed next is going to be the CZ. The CZ P07 Duty Pistol. This thing legitimately is going to get a review next before anything else, and then of course there's going to be another pistol review before I basically get on to the rifles and stuff. I'm hoping to get that done before the next game day, which, speaking of game days, the next game day for Sector 9 is going to be this month, May 10th and the 24th. Now, you may see a new face in the videos because a friend of mine, who I actually knew in high school, will be joining me. Whether or not she'll want to have a camera, I don't know. But I will say that hopefully in the future I can get another freaking action camera that's not going to give me a lot of trouble, like the GoPro. The GoPro definitely has some issues, has been giving me issues, so yeah, let's just leave it at that. I am going to be looking at some cameras in the future, especially the, well, run cam action cameras, including the side-mounted one that kind of looks like an old-school light. The other thing I will be doing, especially, is kind of taking a look at a few things here and there. Again, a lot that is my phone going off that is going on. There's a lot right now that I really want to focus on. The studio, getting it fully done is one of them, because again, I want to get this whole thing legitimately organized and done, and I will be doing that this month. All my focus and funds will be going to basically getting new shelves, a proper desk, and a few other things here and there. Uh, Again, it just kind of depends on how things go and where things end up in the future. But I can assure you that things are definitely going to be kind of looking up for me in a degree. I just hope things look up for me. But I will say that in the future I will be trying to acquire more budget-minded guns in the future, especially for those of you who are on a budget, from Amazon. Why Amazon? Well, it's because it's convenient, to say the least. A lot of companies are moving to Amazon, and I legitimately want to highlight a lot of stuff you can get on Amazon that you can't get elsewhere, including some really interesting ones that you can replicate certain guns from certain game franchises that may or may not be of the Armalite platform that has an ACOG that you can use as a marksman's rifle in the Mojave Wasteland. In, 5.56, 2.23, get an extended mag mod for, be able to do a lot of fun things that makes it an all-American. Get what I'm saying? Anyway, that's about it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I will admit that, yes, I am uploading to Rumble now. I haven't decided on what I want to do that's going to be a Rumble exclusive yet for the media reviews, because I have seen that media reviews or that any sort of, like, movie and comic review is actually not as constrained on Rumble as it is on YouTube. It is what it is, though. Again, I haven't decided yet, but I will let you know in the future, probably a nice little trailer thing or announcement thing saying, hey, if you want to see this review, go to Rumble. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, and I shall see you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time. Later.